Good evening everyone and welcome to the Invictus Racing League Tier 3, brought to you in partnership with Gridfinder. Today is round 8, we are around the United States Grand Prix, otherwise known as COTA, and a little bit different today. It's going to be a one-shot qualifying and a sprint weekend. I'm James9 and I'm joined with Ewan. How are you today, Ewan?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Looking forward to a new layout. We've had one sprint race already this season, and it brought out an interesting couple of races around Austria. A few safety cars, and we'll be hoping for a little bit of a repeat tonight.
How many racing laps are we going to get?
I'm not too sure on the official lap count. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't expect we'll get a racing lap in every one of those laps, but you never know. We could get surprised.
Yes. It's happened once this season.
I think it's happened twice,
I'm
hasn't it?
not in. Has it?
I don't think we had a safety car around Monaco or Britain.
Oh yeah, we had a virtual safety car around Britain.
Yeah, that was partly aided by the issue with the lobbies, though. Yeah. I'm not too sure what's going on here. I've just got stuck on a waiting for other player screen. How are you?
Yeah, I am as well. Oh no.
Maybe we're just waiting for them to
Break up.
do their strategies. No, not their strategies, doing their setups and that. Usually we get a different screen to this, but because it's a one shot, it might be a little bit different. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, because they all go at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't come filtering out the pits, so it sort of like moves the session over. So that's probably why we're in this screen. With a one-shot qualifying, in case you don't know, for those of you at home watching, we can only go on board with just the one car. We will choose a lucky somebody once we get to turn 2 and see who's ahead, and we'll go with them. But you can't see all the cars on the track, unfortunately. But we will go with what we get. Good afternoon to Martin joining us tonight. So 10 seconds and we will be underway. All on our soft side of team for the one-shot quali. Gotta go careful but also push as hard as you can at the same time. Is an interesting one. All on those soft tyres, like I said. Let's go on board then with Trems, who is currently leading. Here we go. So Trems through probably the most technical part of the track. He's dropped a position there to Bruce, who is currently leading, but looks like Bruce made a big mistake and he's dropped down to 11th. Trems keeping it nice and tidy through these next few corners. Got to make sure he doesn't run too wide and then cut through the corner, and he's done exactly that. No invalidations. Obviously, if you invalidate in one-shot qualifying, it's sort of the end of the world almost for yourself. So you've got to make sure that you do not do that as you get just the one run. JPH falling all the way down the order. He was in second, down to 5th. But Trems is holding on to that first place. No deltas in one-shot qualifying. So we've got to just assume that this timing tower on the left is correct. Trems J picking his braking point. Braking nice and late. Getting himself turned in for the corner. No over-rotation, no under-rotation. Keeping it nice and tidy through here. A fastest second sector for himself. Got to come out nice and wide and sweep through the corner. He does run a little bit wide there. Maybe someone else could pick up some time on him. But he is still... Well, as I say, that LDR gamer does go ahead. Obviously, he had a race ban last week, so he missed out on Belgium. But he's back with a vengeance today as he is leading the one-shot qualifying. But we'll stay on board with Trems just in case. A couple of corners left to go. And he takes out nicely. It's going to be a P1 possibly for Trems. And that is a very, very tight between the two of them. 11 one-thousandths of a second. A few disqualifications, JPH, Sir Spud, JP, Antinous, and Jolly as well. But a time that Trems has got to be happy with there. That put him on pole.
Doesn't show the disqualifications until they've crossed the line.
No, it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? So your qualifying positions for the sprint race will be Trems leading LDR Gamer, who was just 12 one-thousandths behind. Sab in third place, a brilliant result for him. He'll be happy with that one. Nitro Gash in 4th, Sam Flan in 5th, Jack in 6th, the leader of the Alfa Romeos. Bruce Lee in 7th, who will be delighted with that time compared to JPH, who unfortunately got disqualified. Joseph Greenman in P8 and Officer Red in P9. Kurt in P10, Daryl obviously playing it safe in P11, quite far behind the pack. Mikey in P12, and a mistake or a spin possibly for Atsu, putting him in P13. And then we have the disqualifications of Jolly, Tinnis, JP, JPH, and Sir Spud. I could be wrong, but I think the order decided in the disqualifications is who was disqualified first goes further back in the grid, but I could be wrong. As we have a soaking wet sprint race, this could throw some spanners in the works, Ewan.
Oh dear.
I think in one-shot qualifying you can't see the weather for the sprint race. I could be wrong. I have a feeling it shows you just the one-shot and just the feature, but not the sprint. So this could have caught a few people off guard here. I'll have to wait and see. It looks like wet tyres. I think not even inters. It looks absolutely soaking out there.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to dry up either. It's 10 laps of racing.
No, exactly. It almost looks like we're rolling back the weeks and we're back in Silverstone here.
Yeah, well, typical England day.
Yeah, absolutely hammered down. Someone's already readied up.
And this is, is that an early ready, huh? Or is that one?
I might be wrong, but it seems early, but I don't think you can catch it in the sprint, unfortunately. Either way, we are ready to go.
It's an early start.
Buenos dias. Good evening to you joining us for the Invictus Racing League Tier 3 as we get the lights out in 2, 1, and we are away. It is the wet tyres for everybody and a difficult start for everybody. Trems looks like he's going to lose that P1 with the inside line for LDR Gamer. He's going to go in round turn 1. He's playing it cautiously as they go so tentatively around the corner. A spin for a Nitro Gash in the background, but Trems will lead out of the first corner. Just the one spin, and luckily no DNFs, so we will go back to the front. 5 tenths is the gap. As I say that, Mikey has gone wide and he's had a bit of a moment. Trems J pulling out a second gap then to the car behind. Positions being made all around, side by side through the first few corners. It's always risky going side by side through there. Almost contact as Jolly has gone around. We were on board. And that will see him fall to the back of the grid. A big slam on the back of the car there as he turns the car around. Hopefully there's no damage to that car. Tinnis fighting for 10th place, but he overshoots the corner and goes horribly wide. And that will allow Jack back through. Only the one position lost, but he's going to get a poor exit out of the corner. And JPH will sail on by. He's made a good climb after being disqualified from one-shot qualifying. Let's see, is Sam Flan going to go for a move on the Ferrari down into the corner? No, he's not. JP going up the field. Tinnis really struggling, but Darrell will sail on by, and that will be an easy position. He'll be happy with that one. Wow, a drama start to the race there, Ewan.
Yeah, that sounded like a lot of words, a lot of lots of technicalities as well. You know, they're all very technical words in F1, aren't they?
They are indeed, as you have another spin for Jolly. He's just falling a little bit further behind. And a bit of a gap opening up here between Mikey and JP. I wonder if those two are battling a little bit too much. Trent still leading. JP going for a switchback on the inside. Down into the last corner. Who will take the position? JP playing it nice and cautiously. But Mikey looks like he's run a bit wide there. And JP will pick up that position. And he will be happy with that one as he has a bit of a snap of... He's struggling to control the car there. And he's going to lose those 2 positions, unfortunately, for himself. It is ever so hard in those wet conditions. Soaking wet conditions, even. I wouldn't want to be out there right now as we are on board with Darrell. 5 tenths behind the Ferrari. It is looking like an interesting race. Predictors pit stop is saying either no stop or 1 stop. It is a sprint race. And those wets could probably go about 40 laps. So I'd assume there's not going to be a stop here unless there's any damage for anybody.
The top 2 are starting to pull away. Trems is having the race of his, a very, very good race. I would say the race of his life. But with a 1.5 second lead already in the first two. We've not even crossed the finish line twice.
No, exactly.
But LDR building a gap of over a second as well into third. I mean, they've got the 2.7 second gap between third and the leader, the Alpine in Trends.
Yeah, obviously no DRS around here in these wet conditions, so that gap doesn't matter as much. It's hard to make an overtake around here, but we've seen a few. Tinnis has dropped down a few positions and a spin for Samflan. First penalty of the night for Jack. A 3-second time penalty for running wide, I would assume there. I'm sure we'll see plenty more of those as the cars are wrestling through the corners in the wet conditions. And we've got
Anatsu runs
spin.
wide there. JPH tried to make a move down the inside, couldn't, but is right on the tail of Atsu as we go down the start-finish straight.
Let's go on board with this battle as Tinnis has a spin in the background, and that will put him to the back of the field. Other than Samflan, he's going to go for a move down the inside. Keeping it nice and tidy, no contact. That's just going to hang around the outside. He's not going to give this one up too easily. And JPH is going to have to concede that position. Atsu was not letting that one go. They lost a good few seconds to the cars ahead, but some brilliant racing from the two of them. Tinnis with the 3-second time penalty. That's not going to matter too much. He's quite far behind. It looks like a corner cut from Atsu, and as I say that, yeah, 3 seconds for himself. Another spin for Tinnis, and that will see him right at the back of the grid for the feature race after this one. Some drivers are going to be hoping it's going to be a nice and dry race. After this, yellow flags in the first few sectors. That is Tinnis optional.
That was eventful.
Eventful indeed.
I do think, you know, Atsu's going to feel a little bit hard done by there with the sense of, you know, he managed to battle that position well, and to lose the 3 seconds, that's going to lose him more than just the one position.
Well, exactly that,
especially with the safety car.
Yeah, especially with the safety car. I was going to say that's going to close the gaps right up, and those 3-second penalties are going to be quite detrimental for drivers around. Good evening to Renz joining us.
Tinnis has retired.
Tinnis has retired. I'd assume he's lost it through the S's there. He would have had some quite toasty tyres after his couple of spins before that, and it's easily done. Chems might be hitting his steering wheel here. He had a nice gap to the cars behind, and off the start, LDR gamer looked rapid, so he's going to be looking to avoid LDR from the safety car restart. But I would assume nobody's going to come in the pits here. Maybe a couple of the drivers right at the back of the field, but you've got to assume that no one's going to pit here. Only the 10 laps. So we are on lap 4. Let's have a look at our biggest movers. JPH up into P9, 8 positions he's made, and he is the biggest mover tonight. Samflan, who's lost out the most, he is in the pits. He was going quite slowly. I wonder if he had a front wing damage. Let's see if we can see if he's going to change that one. Some nice, fresh, wet tyres. It's still way too wet for inters. Oh no, he's retiring in the pits. It's an interesting one. Seems there's a safety car. I thought he'd stay out, but never mind. A wet evening in Kota then. 6 laps to go, a couple under the safety car, I don't doubt. It doesn't usually come in first lap. Trem's warming up them tyres and he almost lost it there. Last thing we want to see is a crash under the safety car. It's happened before, in real life and in Invictus Racing League. Hopefully no more of that tonight.
Australia was mental on Sunday.
It was a crazy race indeed, yeah. I don't know if you watched the F2 series, it's even worse.
I didn't.
No, tyre warm-up was a really big factor for Tier 2, and well, F2 should I say. I'm so used to saying Tier 2 because of here. And drivers just straight lining at turn 3 after turn 1 and 2. They're already going nice and slowly, so they get through there nice and get on the brakes the first time in turn 3 and just almost no brakes. Going through the corner and straight lining it. But I'm sure we'll see none of that tonight. We have some professionals in the lobby. Trems then leading LDR gamer Sab in P3. He's got to be happy with this so far. Be a brilliant result from himself in the sprint race. Bruce in P4 in the Aston Martin, leading his teammate who isn't down in P9, but he can't complain too much as he did qualify right down out the points. Obviously, it's points for the top, oh god, top 5 drivers. Is it Ewan?
Top 8.
Top 8. I can't quite remember.
I'm going to say top 8. Because it's 8 gets 1, winner gets 8.
Yeah, I know that's the case in RP, but I'm not 100% sure if it's the same. Here we have the reduced point system, obviously 15 points for a win in the feature race. So I think the sprint points are scaled down with that. So 5 for P1 and then down to 5th place. I could be wrong though. Either way, points being scored for the leader. Don't go jinxing, Sab, says Martin. I hope that's not the case. We will not run on board with him just in case then. We will run on board with it. I'd like to watch LDR Gamer, I think. See how good a run he can get on Trems. And let the chaos ensue in the background. So a pretty bog standard start for the front 3 drivers, keeping their positions where they qualified. Obviously this wet weather does make it a little bit easier to hold those positions, as there is no DRS to make some overtakes. Tina said he damaged his rear wing, so he it wasn't the plan to DNF, but obviously the car goes around so easily with no rear wing, and I can imagine one thing leads to another. We've got a spin for Nitro Gash out of the corner there, down onto the back straight, and that's going to see him fall right to the back of the field and right behind everybody. I spoke too soon, Ewan, about a spin under the safety car, but that has happened. As Ewan, he's got an issue with his mic there. Hopefully he's back for the race start. I'm sure they'll be going in here, and Nitro Gash will catch back up with the pack. As Ewan has left the party, it's hopefully just some connection issues, and we'll see him back in shortly. He's not left the session. Safety car is in this lap then, and a couple of positions being lost by JPH. It looks like he's gone onto the grass here. And that's some more positions lost under the safety car. I didn't see what happened, but that is not ideal for himself. Miles out the points now. Officer Red falling behind now. I don't know what's going on here. But all attention to the front of the field. Are you back in, Ewan? Not just yet. He did rejoin the party, but we will, nonetheless, we will be on board with LDR Gamer. Let's see if he can get a run.
It's back.
There he is. Ewan is joining us. When is Trems going to go? He's going to wait until the line here, and he's going to go, but that is not a good restart from him, and LDR Gamer's all over the back of Trems. A position for Daryl as they go over the line. Trems is going to hold LDR to the outside. He's going to go for a switchback. He's gonna, but it looks like Trems is gonna park it on the apex of the corner, running down into turn 2. And Trems will hold that position. Darryl up into P5, all over the back of Bruce Lee Harden. He looked like he's had some serious pace in the sprint today, and Bruce also looks like he's got some paces. He's right on the back of Sab. As I say that, Bruce loses a couple of attempts. Let's then watch them come through the S's. No more position changes just yet. Side by side, Atsu and Kerr. Atsu's going to go up the inside, but that looks like contact. And both cars squirming all around, and that will be a position for Atsu. Kerr will lose out worse from that. And he's going to be slowed down the line, but he does got the inside of Atsu. Will he get this position back? Late on the brakes. And he's going to keep the car on the track just about as he runs horribly wide. As we look in the rear view mirror there, we've got 3 wide then running down the straight. Be interesting to see what setups everyone's running. JP all over the back of JPH then. He's going to go for a move down into the following corner. It does look like it. He's got that straight line speed in JP. He's early on the brakes. There's going to be contact with the Alfa Romeo and a spin. We were on board with that one, and he can't get the car back underway, but Mikey has been sent round by JP, and that is unfortunate as he was battling with JPH.
That is unfortunate for Mike. He was starting to climb up as well.
Yeah,
He'd gone right back down.
yeah, unfortunately for him, he'd gone for a wide line, but that is a overtake fifth place. Joseph Greenman ahead of Daryl, sorry. Daryl will not give this one up too easily. But it just looked like...
looking to make a move on Sir Spud here. As he is all over the back. As we go down the start, finish straight. As he looks to go down the inside as we head into turn 1. But he broke a little bit too early there to be able to make any move. But the move still doesn't really look like it's over yet. It still can be done. He's not. Sir Spud can't gain anything as JPH stays on his rear. Yeah, he's right on the rear there.
JPH is forcing through the corners here. Nose to tail. He might go for a move up the inside here, or he might wait until the end of the straight, but there's no DRS, so it doesn't really matter where he makes the move. A 3-second penalty for Sir Spud. Not what he's going to want, and that will allow JPH round the outside. Let's hope they both keep it.
I was just about to mention the Atsu battle as well earlier, and how Sir Spud would be looking not to make the same mistake in getting a time penalty, but he's done it.
He has, and he's lost the back end out the corner as well, so that's a few more positions lost, and JPH will wander on past. I've been a P10 after that spin under the safety car. As we see the gap start to settle down here, no one too close to one another. The closest gap is Nitrogash to JPH. The 3 penalties you see on the board, Jack, Atsu and Sir Spud, are all 3 seconds for extending or track limits, corner cutting or one of the like. And with the drivers very close together, there will be some costly penalties. The only saving grace is for Atsu, who will not fall behind Jack, but the fastest lap for Sab. 2 seconds. He's got a nice healthy gap to the car ahead to run in some free air and just keep Bruce Lee behind him. I don't know. Did you see? Oh, Sabs loses it there. As I say that, Bruce Lee's going to be all over the back of him. Is he going to be able to make a move? He's going to go around the outside here. Too wide through the S's. This is going to be brave and probably the brighter move. Bruce Lee backs out of that one, but Sab, after going fastest, goes the slowest through the next couple of corners. A bit of a train then forming behind those cars. No DRS obviously in the very, very wet race. Still there's wet tyres and it doesn't look like it's going to let off anytime soon.
This battle has allowed Joseph Greenman to start to build on Bruce, but Bruce is just... I don't know whether... I think obviously this isn't RP. This is very much skill based from Bruce, and he's been one of the best racers in the league so far from what I've seen. You know, he's been consistently up the top, and he's defended well, and he's overtaken where he can, and you know, he's managing to fend off Joseph Grima here as and extending the time as well, even though he is battling. So.
Yeah, he's definitely a good racer out there. Maybe qualifying's not always his strong suit, but the race, no doubt, he always finds his way up the field. Same with JPH, although he did obviously get disqualified from that one-shot qualifying. But as you said, the gaps are getting tight here. Kerr, less than 2 attempts behind the back of Darryl. And he looks like he's going to get a better exit here in the dirty air, but that doesn't matter. He's going to go to the inside here. Darryl's going to try and hold this one off. It looks like Darryl's got a little bit more straight line speed. Will Kerr send it up into turn 1? No, he won't. He's going to be wiser here and hold the position. Contact will be stupid between these two drivers. And with 2 laps to go, there will be no time to make amends. LDR and Trems then pulling right away. 5.5 seconds between Sab. A couple of mistakes could be the reason for that gap, but nonetheless, a brilliant drive from those two. And Trems looks like he's got it covered out up the front. But all eyes at the back here. Jack has gone round. No front wing. That will be the end of the sprint race for Jack. And we will no doubt see him fall to the bottom of the field then. Cut all over the back of Darrell. Will he be able to make a move down on the back straight? He couldn't make a move on the start-finish straight. He couldn't be any closer to the car ahead if he tried. He gets a brilliant exit, but we did see earlier that Darrell just had that straight line speed, and he's quite far behind the car ahead, so maybe without that slipstream, Kirk can look to make a move here, but not the case as Bruce goes down the inside of Sab. A little bit of wheel banging, but that looks like a good move from him, and he'll be up onto the podium for the sprint race. Sab down into P4, but looking up the inside of Bruce, he's not going to give this one up too easily. But as I say that, Joseph Groomer sends one up the inside, and Sab is falling down the order here. Kirk does make that move. Sab back at the inside of the Ferrari, who went a little bit wide there, and he will see that position back up into P4. But he can't quite get the power down there. He's looking like he's squirming, but he will hold on to P4. You were saying, Ewan, about Bruce being a brilliant driver and being an optimistic one at that, and he has taken P3 for the sprint race as we are on to the final lap. JPH then making another position, as well as the Red Bull of Jolly Jolly in the background there onto the last corner. Joseph Grima is going to look for a move up the inside of Sab, but he's a little bit too far back here, and he's not going to be too risky here. But a lovely line through there. Sab running really wide and too wide down into turn 2. 3 seconds for LDR Gamer, but that one won't matter too much other than for the lead, as it is a 6-second gap to Bruce Lee Hardin. But Sab will stay ahead for now. I don't know if he's got some tyre warm problems. A little bit of a corner cut there from Joseph, but he's obviously not had 3 warnings just yet. Nonetheless, they're going to hold on to that gap for 3 seconds for JP. That won't matter too much either at the back of the grid. And I think I saw another penalty there. Possibly could have been Jack. Let's have a look at the penalties. It was 3 seconds more for Jack. That will see him fall to the bottom of the field. As Joseph Groom can't quite make a move on Seb.
I thought you were about to go on to race director then when you said about looking at penalties. I was just about to shout, no! Don't do that.
No, not that, but down the outside, Joseph Grimmer at the end of the straight. Sab late on the brakes, but he's kept the car in one piece. Tussles for Atsu's gone wide there with JPH. I didn't see if it was contact, hopefully not, but a couple of positions lost for the Ferrari driver, as well as that 3 second time penalty. But some of the drivers are just falling down the order here. It makes you wonder what setup they've got on.
Goes Joseph. Sorry to cut you off there. Joseph Green went down the inside of Sab as Sab went wide.
No, by all means, and contact between Joseph Grima and Sab. Darrell will pick up the position on the inside, and that will be another position lost for Sab. Darrell's run wide there. Hopefully no penalty for himself. He does avoid one. But the Williams moving past his teammate. And after that, Sab is down in P6 as JPH gets past Kurt just before the line. P7 for JPH. Kurt 2 times behind him in P8. Trems then a commanding sprint race and 4 seconds ahead of the other drivers. Jack falling down the grid as we see with that time penalty.
I think that one might end up in the stewards.
Possibly, yeah. I didn't see if it was a little bit of contact between Sab and the other driver. It was a difficult one. They were too wide through there, and it's always brave.
He did look to come in. It looked like from my screen on the back. He clipped the back right wheel.
Well, we will not throw too many allegations out in the wind, and we will wait for the Spud talks there and catches my eye. Sorry, we'll wait for the stewards. So Trems leads then for the sprint race. LDR Gamer just behind, a 3 second penalty, but that doesn't matter too much. Bruce Lee started in 7th and all the way up in 3rd. A brilliant race for him, sprint race for himself. Joseph Grima again finding positions in P4. Darrell a stellar race from himself in P5. Sab in P6 losing a couple of positions, but I don't think he'll complain too much about that one. JPH in 7. Kurt in P8, Nitrogash down in P9 after a spin under the safety car. I can't complain too much about that one. Atsu in 10th, just losing positions throughout that race. Jolly Jolly in 11th, Mikey in 12th. Then we have Officer Red in P13, JP in P14, and then we have in P15. Sorry, it's disappeared there. I missed it, I'm afraid. A couple of drivers there at the back. I know Tinnis did DNF, but a dry feature race. I think there's going to be some relief drivers on the grid here, Ewan.
Yeah, I think JPH will be more relieved than most, bearing in mind his one-shot qualifying was undesirable, I'd say.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly
raining.
that. No, it was an undesirable one-shot qualifying indeed, but he made amends there, and he's climbed his way up into the top half of the field. I think it is points for the top 5. I didn't get a chance to look, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. We will see then. Sorry about that. Just the two DNF, sorry, Tinnis at the back, and it was Samflan who called it a night in the pits under the safety car. That was a bizarre one. Maybe he had some rear wing damage or something that we couldn't see that explains that. So drivers then getting ready to decide on what they're going to do. Kota then, Ewan. What tyres would you be starting on tonight?
20 laps? 28?
I'm not too sure,
How many
to
laps
be
is it?
honest.
I
How
mean,
10 in that sprint race. It's usually a third, so probably 29, I'd imagine.
well, bearing in mind that, or from what I've seen of Tier 3, there's been quite a few safety cars, so I think I might start on the mediums and hope that carries on.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you there, as Spud says 28 laps then, not 29. Obviously, it's hard to divide 28 by 3, so that's why there was 10 laps of the sprint race. For 28 laps and of Kota, I would also start on those medium tyres, because you do have to think that a safety car will appear at some point. We had one in the sprint, but it was wet, so maybe we won't have one in the feature, but let's see then as the cars put themselves on the grid. And will Trems get the brilliant start he got in the sprint race? 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And we are off then. It looks like a better start from LDR Gamer, I think. Again, up the inside, Trems losing out. Bruce possibly being forced off the track there. And he's going to lose a few positions. I think that one might end up in the stewards there, as Trems did push him wide, it looked like. But LDR then will take the lead for the United States Grand Prix. Joseph Green looks like he's got some serious pace through here. A few positions being lost at the back. Mikey falling down. JP falling down. Tillis making amends for that poor sprint race with that rear wing damage, like he came in and told us. But too wide then through the next couple of corners. Almost contact between Jack and Sir Spud. It's going to be tight through here, and Tillis is going to go around the outside. It looked like he took that position off track though, and he might be asked to give that one back. But too wide. JP and Jack down into the straight. Who will come out on top? JP will keep that inside line. He will not force the driver off track. But let's get eyes to the front. 6 1,000ths is the gap, but that look a bit of a snap there, and that will let Darrell into the podium positions, up into P3. Joseph Greenwood likes that inside line through there, but it won't be enough to keep him ahead of Darrell, and Darrell will gain that position then up into the top 3 in the podium. Side in P5, a good start for Darrell. A couple of moves being made here. Atsu up the inside of Sab, sorry, and JPH looking. Well, that was hell of a close to some contact there. And that looks like a spin for Tinnis again, unfortunately, in the feature race. Obviously, he's spanning the sprint. And that will see a few positions lost. But another drama-filled start to the race, Ewan.
Yes, very. As we go into lap 2, I'm just trying to work out how many points you do get for when I think it's top 6, but you might be right with top 5. I can't really work it out.
Top 6 or top 5 then. Taking a nice tight line as Tinnis through that corner, but we will get eyes to the front. JPH and Sab, it's very tight between a few of the drivers here, and they will all be waiting for the DRS, but I could sense we might get a bit of a DRS train here as drivers are 3-4 tenths behind one another. Let's see, has anyone got the straight line speed?
From 3rd all the way up to 8th are able to get the DRS. If Nitrogash does start to gain like he has, then it will go up to 9th, the DRS train, as it stands.
Yeah, JPH just 2 tenths behind Sab, but Sab looks like he's got him covered. He's got that straight line speed and a nice line through there. and that would keep him ahead. But we've seen Sab with a few issues through these next couple of corners and a few positions lost because of it. Let's hope he can keep it nice and tidy through here. So JPH all over the rear of Sab. Is he going to look at the inside here? He's going to play it nice and safe here. You don't want to ruin your race in lap 2. It's a long way to go. 28 laps. Tinos is climbing back up the field.
I don't know what happened there with Bruce. He was following the line of Joseph Grima, and he just took the corner, going straight, and he'd gone. It looked like he was about to pit, and then came straight back into the line.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He lost a position as well with that one, down into P6, and that let Atsu through. 2 Ferraris performing brilliantly. Round Kota, but the gap at the front is only 6/10. Strem's with the fastest lap so far. And after that lap 1 kerfuffle, it looks like he's going to try and take this position back. Ferrari on Ferrari action down onto the back straight here, 3/10. And a lot of drivers using a lot of ERS. We'll hide that one, and Tinos is going to make another move up into P12. Surspo's not going to let this one go too easily here. They're going to go too wide, but it looks like that Tinos has got that covered with the faster straight line speed. So then all eyes back to the 2 Ferraris at the front, or near the front should I say. All over the back of Darrell. Darrell cannot shake these 2 Ferraris, and it looks like a bit of a queue forming then behind that Williams driver. Having out his teammate alright though. So then both Ferraris, same strategy. They're going to be no team orders with the Ferraris. So you see someone running a bit wide in the background there, possibly Nitrogash.
I
Wings
don't know if I've done something, but I've lost the order.
Lost the order.
I
That
can't
is
see the
bizarre.
positions.
Joseph Green up the outside of Darrell into P3. A lovely move into turn 1 there. It looks like he has the grip tonight, is the 2 Ferraris in fact. The pair of them look like they've got brilliant grip through the corners, but that is a yellow flag. Tinos has gotten round again, and this does not look, this is just bad to worse here for Tinos. Not a day for himself to remember as he falls right to the back of the field, but all eyes at the front. Atsu looking for a move on Darrell. Joseph has got past Darrell and he's flying away in that Ferrari. It looks like Darrell is the screw in the bottle here and he's holding everybody up. No DRS for Darrell, but that looks like too big a gap for the Ferrari to cover. And in fact, Bruce is going to go around the outside, down the straight. Brilliant straight line speed from the Aston Martin. A bit of a change from previous races, Ewan. We know we've said a few times about the Aston Martins running very high front and rear wings, but it looks like he's got the straight line speed tonight.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to sort my sort the thing out because I can't
Okay,
see
no,
what the positions are.
No worries, hopefully you can get that one sorted. But a 3-second penalty for Officer Red, side by side with JP. Gonna look back at the inside here. They're gonna hold it too wide. This is gonna be brave into the following corner. They're both alongside one another. Hopefully this doesn't result in contact, and Officer Red will make the move and JP will lose out. I think there are a couple of positions. Sam Flan as well, but he will get the inside line. Sam Flan then with a switchback, but that is another spin for Tinos Optionil. He's falling even further behind, but Sab is losing another position there to JPH. As Jack makes a move on Sir Spud. Atsu all over the rear of Darrell. The Aston Martin of Bruce Lee managed to make his way through as we saw, and he even went past Darrell there. I missed that overtake, unfortunately, on stream. But Atsu with the better line through the corners, and he will be looking for a move on the inside of Darrell, possibly into this next corner. No, he's going to be sensible. He goes a bit deep there, almost makes contact with the back of Darrell. The Ferrari's looking ever so confident out on track tonight.
Fixed it.
Perfect, fixed it. 3/10 then is the gap between Atsu and Darrell. Darrell got that straight line speed. Atsu almost running off the track there, trying to get the best line through the corner. possibly a little difference in setups here. Darrell's gone for that straight line speed in the Williams, but the the Ferraris have gone for the corner speed. As you can see, he's right up the rear through the corners.
Yeah. It's looking a state of alarm here for Darrell, but he's looking to keep it calm. He's keeping the line as actually runs a little bit wide there.
Yeah, very well. I wonder if that was a warning for himself, but he's all over the rear of Darrell then as they get back onto the next lap on the start and finish straight. Atsu's going to go to the inside, but that straight line speed, Darrell's got him covered, but he's going to send it down the inside. And the move will be made by Atsu, but Darrell is not going to give it up too easily. He's going to be quicker through the corners we saw, but he's got JPH to 10-2 behind. Maybe he's going to have to look behind, not ahead, as Darrell goes straight on there. And a mistake for the Williams driver, and that will see him fall down to P9, and Jolly might even be able to pick up a position here. Darrell, a mistake there, trying too hard possibly to hold on to that position. Cutting the corner as he rejoins. JPH won't care, he's made his way past the Williams and he's looking at the back of the Ferrari now.
I'm surprised that he's not had I think Darrell might count himself lucky not to have got a penalty there, bearing in mind he did cut one or two corners there.
Yeah, I think he had his head switched on there and he chose to go a little bit slow in the grass, so he didn't get that penalty. But 3 wide then. In the background, Darrell, Jolly and Mikey, they've sorted out the order for now, but Darrell looking like he's struggling after that mistake. He run on board with himself, running a little bit wide there, Jolly behind. But Darrell will hold on to P9 for now. 3 seconds is the gap to the car ahead. And he's going to have no DRS here. Car down in P12, I didn't see what happened to him. I thought he was a bit higher than that, actually with the fastest lap then. A bit of contact there, Cusp, but in the rear of Mikey. But they've both kept it going on track. A little bit of a friendly nudge there, a love tap even you could say. But no damage done, hopefully. As Mikey is still on the rear of Jolly Jollig. He looks like he's got no BRS left. Darrell keeping it nice and tidy through the S's this time. But all eyes on these drivers as Kurt has spun. Kurt has gone around right in the middle of the track. Luckily he's ghosted there, that'd be a big collection. But that's going to see Kurt fall almost to the rear of the field. I don't know if you saw that one, Ewan, but a spin on track. It looked like he was tagged from behind there.
I didn't see it, no. I'm looking at Bruce. Chasing down Joseph. As he does look, he did look to make a move down the inside there. But Joseph did manage to close that one off.
Yeah, Joseph being the lead.
They can see the lead. The leading two just in front of them.
Yeah, the leading two are having a little bit of a battle. Yeah, exactly that. And that is going to help Joseph catch up. But they're having a bit of a scrap at the front here. Trems and LDR Gamer. Obviously, LDR Gamer taking the lead into turn 1 at the beginning of the race. But Trems is not going to give this one up too easily then. Down onto the start finish straight. 3/10 is the gap. Who's got the fastest straight line speed? Wings wide open for Trems. Is he going to go to the inside? He's not. He's going to play it safe. Take the tighter line. Keep the time between the two cars. Trems is going to want to stay nice and close through these next few corners with LDR and look for a move on to the back straight. Mikey losing out then to his teammate Jack in the Alfa Romeo. But all eyes on the lead of the race.
I think Bruce is gonna struggle a little bit here because he hasn't got the ERS. Atsu's got 33. He's got 10% in the ERS. So I think this is going to be he might lose a position here as Atsu is right on his rear.
If you keep an eye on those two, I'm going to keep an eye on Trems. Yelutski's going to make a move down the inside of LDR Gamer for the lead. He's been a bit naughty there, pushing him really wide, but that is the move for Trems and up into the lead of the US Grand Prix. A brilliant move from himself, and he had that straight line speed in the DRS, and that will be P1 for now for Trems. A lovely move from himself. Bruce Lee holding on then to the Ferrari behind. Joseph Greenwood closing the gap to the front two drivers. As Jack makes a move on Darrell, but Darrell's not going to give this one up too easily. Too wide, then through the the double right-hander. Jack running wide, and that will allow Darrell through. He's going to keep that position. Those medium tyres have got to be starting to wear a little bit, you must assume. A little bit of alternate strategies here. I didn't have a look at the tyres when the race started, but as we can see, Trems on the mediums. Interesting that he's retaken that lead on those medium tyres. LDR Gamer on the hards. The two drivers behind on the mediums. A big split in the field for strategies. No safety cars. Maybe the mediums were hoping for a safety car early, but that looks like a spin for Office Red, and that's going to allow a few drivers through contact with himself and Samflan, but he hasn't gone around again, thankfully. So then
it's all happening at the back of the grid.
It is all happening indeed. The two Alfa Romeos who were side by side. A mistake again from Darrell. What is he doing? More positions being lost. I don't know what he's doing here. He's not rejoining the track either. Oh, Darrell. 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That one will be in the stewards, no doubt. But it's gone from bad to worse. P16 for Darrell Whiffin, and Trems and LDR side by side then through the corners. LDR looking like he wants to make a move on Trems. He's going to have the tyre advantage here, but Trems will hold off for now. 2/10 is the gap. You can see the grip for the hards is way higher than the mediums. I wonder if Trems is going to go into the pits here. As we have a few positions being exchanged in the background. Samflan and Mikey. Let's look at this one. They could be side by side here. Mikey down the inside of Samflan. He's going to make that move, but Samflan will hold off on the outside. Will he? Will he not? He will indeed. Samflan well driven, and he's going to keep that position with the inside line. But all eyes back to the lead of the race then. LDR Gamer looking for a move down into turn 1. Can he make it happen? Looks like he's got the exit speed. He's flying down the straight as there is a yellow flag, a spin in the background for the Red Bull. Jolly Jolly, and the two Red Bulls are night to forget, but LDR Gamer into the lead of the race. A brilliant move down the inside. Those hard tyres are definitely better, and Jolly Jolly falling even further behind, unfortunately. Sorry, Ewan, it's all unfolding here.
Yeah, it's a interesting 10 laps and no safety car yet. It's what we like to see.
No safety car. A couple of spins and maybe some drivers hoping for a safety car. As we looks like that Jolly is serving a... Oh, it looks like a visual glitch actually there because he was being held in the pits. But 3/10 then, the gap. LDR and Trems both exchanging over and over and over. Looks like Trems is going to take the lead here. He's got the DRS open. He's going to go to the inside of LDR Gamer down into the corner. Sorry, who's going to be the latest on the brakes? It's Trems. A lovely move from himself down the inside, and that will be the position P1 changing hands again, I think for the 4th time today. LDR Gamer then looking like he's going to keep it on the back of Trems with the more grip. Officer right ahead of Mikey, but we'll stay with this front battle. The medium's looking like no match for Trems. That's a spin for LDR Gamer. He's gone round with those hard tyres. That is going to be detrimental to his race. A rejoin then, close to the McLaren there. But LDR Gamer, after we were just giving him some deserved praise, he spanned the car. And that'll see him down in P8. Not what he was hoping there. Disaster then for the AlphaTauri, losing a buttload of positions, and you're wondering what that's got to do to his hard tyres here and whether he's going to have worn the tyres from that.
Yeah. On top of, well, I mean, besides from that as well, I think Bruce Lee, as I said in the sprint race, he is having absolute blinder. He's brought JPH back into this race. You know, his defence on Atsu has been incredible. I've been following it this whole time. Atsu has tried to make moves, all been blocked by Bruce, and it's managed to get JPH into a 0.4 second gap on the Ferrari, or is it Alfa Romeo?
It is the Ferrari, but that gap's getting smaller and smaller by the second. Is JPH going to make a move down the outside? No, he's not. The Ferrari of Atsu is going to stave that one off nicely. But it's looking very tight and tasty between 4th, 5th and 3rd, 4th and 5th place, sorry. 3/10 is the gap. JPH with an alternate line through there. That could help him see the close the gap on Atsu. Not quite, as we see 3 seconds for Samflan in the background there. P10, and that looks like a move by Mikey then. Climbing up the field into P12. A little bit of a spin earlier we saw, but he's making amends here up into P12. JPH all over the back of the Ferrari. 2/10 is the gap, but he had to back out of that one. You can see that rear light then of Bruce Lee flashing away. Will that give Atsu a chance on the start-finish straight to make a move with that ERS advantage? But a poor exit then by the Ferrari driver. And JPH really is all over the back of the Ferrari. He's not going to send it down into the inside. He's going to keep it wide, but he has forced a Ferrari very wide there. Who's going to get the better run out of turn 1? It looks like the Aston Martin, a JPH, but he's not like he's going to make a move here. Obviously, you can't really make a move through these corners. Something down in P6. He's looking like a quiet race for himself after the mistakes he made, but JPH almost climbing on the rear of Atsu. It makes you wonder what's going to happen then down on the back straight. Bruce Lee with no ERS. You can see the rear flashing away. JPH has harvested brilliantly, as you can see from the steering wheel there. So then JPH, I think it's going to be now or never here. Has he got that straight line speed? It doesn't quite look like he does. His teammate dancing away into the sunset, but not the case for JPH. He just does not have that straight line speed. We've spoke to him in the interviews a few times, and we do know as there is a spin at the back there for JP. That looks like we've spoke to. Sorry, I'm trying to keep an eye at the back there. We've spoke to JPH in the past, and he likes to have a nice stable car underneath him. And that could be the reason for the little lack of speed on the straight. As we see another spin then, Nitro Gas has gone round. A spin for both Mercedes, almost in unison, both McLaren, sorry, almost in unison. And that is going to see positions change. Bruce Lee into the pits then on those medium tyres. No surprise there. Alternate strategy for the two Astons. And it's all unfolding then. How will it look after the pits? Hopefully a nice tidy pit for Bruce. A little bit late out of his pit box, but he will keep that position then. An interesting one then. So Bruce down into P10, but obviously net P2 you could possibly assume even. He's going to have a big hefty undercut on the leaders. He's going to lose that position to Mikey, but obviously Mikey with the warmer tyres, that will be expected. You and all eyes at the front of the grid then, as they're going to want to pull this gap as much as they can before they come in the pits.
Yeah, and I think Trems is, with the spin of LDR, I think he's going to count himself a little bit lucky with that spin. Because it's allowed him to manage his grip level. Bearing in mind he's managing to somewhat pull away from the rest of the grid on the hards, as he is one of 2 medium tyre drivers so far in this race. But most of these races on the hards are going to potentially wait a little bit, as they are going to have to go onto the mediums or the softs if they feel they have to, because they can't go back onto the hards.
Yeah,
Trems does pit.
Yeah, I was on board. I thought he would be going in the pit sometime soon, and Howdy our gamer will see his name flash past, and he might be a little bit relieved here, but Trems then front pits from the lead of the race. An alternate strategy starting on those medium tyres. No safety car to capitalise on tonight for the medium runners, and it's looking like a nice and tidy race tonight. So then the battle for P1, it's maybe not net P1, but it's P1 out on the field. JPH chasing Atsu. Atsu's going to have no DRS now to defend with. And you've got to think, Ewan, that if JPH is going to make a move, it's got to be sometime soon. This is going to be his best chance. No DRS for the Ferrari, who did look a little bit faster in the straight line. But he was using that DRS of Bruce Lee Harden, who did pit a little bit earlier on those medium tyres.
But the thing is I think JPH's grip levels are going to be a lot higher than Atsu's. bearing in mind he has been pushing. He's pushed hard, and I think this could. I think he will definitely. I think potentially, can't say for definite, but I think he will go for the undercut on Atsu, whether that be 1 lap, 2 lap, maybe even 3 laps.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
There's an you know, like an undercut that's sensible, and then there's an undercut that's risky. And I think he's going to go for the sensible undercut, which is maybe in the 3 laps, as I said, because you know, medium tyres around here are probably going to last you. They lasted Trem's 12 laps, but he didn't have to battle for 4 or 5 of those. So who knows?
No, and meanwhile in the background, Trems, who was the leader, he's losing positions to the cars who have not yet pitted. As I said, he could go for a move down into turn 1 here on the Haas. Late on the brakes, he does have the better traction through the corner, and he obviously does have the better tyres, and he will make that move. I think that was a pivotal one as we have a spin for the Red Bull at the back of the field. Tinus, it's just a long day for the Red Bull driver tonight, and I've got a feeling he must hate Kota, but there's a safety car out. I don't really know what for, Ewan.
I don't either.
A safety car out then? Why is that came out? Interesting, but the hard runners, you think, are going to have to ditch the tyres now for the mediums.
Trems is going to feel very, very hard done by, and I wouldn't blame him for it.
Well, I don't think he's going to lose out too much, because they're all going to be running at the same... Oh, he's going to lose a little bit, isn't he? Yeah. This is not good.
Could not have come at a worse time for Trems. I do think Atsu, JPH and LDR will probably pit under the safety car.
I think we're going... Yeah, I think we're going to see everyone who's yet to pit go in. Everybody who is yet to make their mandatory pit stop will make a stop under.
JPH, LDR.
Busy pit lane then for the crew. Let's watch some of these pit entries. No one cutting the corners, please.
Oh, JPH.
Good entrance, JPH. Oh no, it's just it's because the pit box is later for the driver, so it looked like he was making positions there. Sir Spud then in the pits, nice and tidy in there. JP into the pits, nice and tidy cut. Oh, cutting it fine there into the pits. Mikey running wide under the safety car. He's going to pit, I assume. Almost cuts the corner there. Then Darryl. Then you assume he's going to get rid of this 10-second penalty. I think. Is he going to come in? Although he's pitted already and he didn't serve it. No, he didn't, did he?
I don't think it's a drive-through.
Oh, a spin for Darryl. What is he doing under the safety car?
Wait, can you serve a 10-second penalty?
Yeah, you can serve penalties under the safety car. Yeah, he spun on the start-finish line. Doesn't matter, though. Yeah, you can serve a penalty under the safety car. Most certainly. You can't serve a drive-through, but you can serve anything else. But the 10 seconds was for...
How do you serve a penalty in the pit?
You just it just holds you for it holds you before they do any work on the tyres. So then this works out swimmingly for Atsu and JPH in the lead. It also works out for LDR Gamer with that spin early on, and he almost has made amends here up into P3 because of that safety car, but I still don't know why it came out, Ewan.
I don't either. I think Tinus did. It was either Tinus or Mikey spun. Maybe even both of them. But I think that might have been the case.
Yeah, I did see Tinus go around, but that's not usually enough to bring out the safety car. Daryl's penalties for corner cut. Yeah, well, I don't know if you watched Tier 1, Simon, last week. We had this exact same position where a straight 5 seconds was handed to a driver for corner cutting, and I said to Webbo live on air that he wouldn't be able to serve it as it was 4 track limits. But as soon as he came in the pits, I looked a little bit silly, and they served the penalty, so I don't really know what the rules are anymore. I've always thought that track limit penalties could not be served in the race, like the 3 seconds you pick up. I know that usually is the case, but they did serve one in Tier 1, so I don't really know what the rules exactly are, and maybe the rules are one for the FIA and one for Cody's. You never quite know, do you? Someone saying that's me looking silly. Daryl's gone in the pits. Let's double check then. Is he going to serve it? He's already pitted though, so you assume not. He's going to strap the softs on. Oh, an interesting decision for Daryl. He's got nothing to lose though. He's at the back of the field. Yeah, not being served that penalty. He will look to get that one removed though, because it was unfair.
Penalties that are multiple of 5 can be served in the pits.
Well, it was a 10-second penalty for Daryl, so why is that one not being served then? No, that's what... Yeah, I don't really know, Smoke, because as you see here, penalties, he picked up 10 seconds for not rejoining the track too quickly after making a mistake through this very section. He was on the grass, and he was letting the drivers through for not an unsafe return. And he was slapped with an instant 10-second penalty.
I think it's because of the 3 seconds. He's got 13 seconds left.
Yeah, that's why he's got 13, but he still should be able to get that penalty removed, but he didn't look that way. But he would definitely put it in the stewards, and honestly, with a safety car, a 10-second removal, I wouldn't complain too much. Daryl, he's running wide, what's he doing? No, all good, Smoke. I don't think no one really knows what the real rules are. It's almost like the FIA making up as they go along. So all eyes at the front. I'm assuming the safety car is going to come in. Yeah, the notification popping as I say it. As they enter Sector 3, then Atsu will become that safety car. A poor restart from Trems in the sprint race. Hopefully Atsu doesn't follow suit.
Atsu's come from 10th place today, leading this race, as it will be a net first now because of all the pits.
Yeah, he is the leader of the race, and that is the P1 is a little bit naughty there from Atsu, heavy on the throttle and then backing out. But he didn't cause any issues behind. Let's keep a nice on-board shot of this view of this restart then. Where's he gonna go? 2 corners to make his decision. Safety car is in. When will Atsu go? Will he run to the line or will he go at the beginning of this corner? I would assume the beginning of the corner, Ewan. Let's see. Is he gonna go? He's gonna go on the exit then. A good restart from himself.
That was very readable from JPH. As a spin from Sir Spud.
A spin.
He does spin. Going into the start finish straight. That looked like, you know, I mean, I know the safety car has just gone in, but if the other one was a safety car, that could well have been. From what I saw, he was in the wall.
No yellow flags for now, but that's going to be a race over for himself. Car picking up 3 penalties. Daryl on the curbs again through these tight sectors. He's going to have the grip here. Maybe he went for a move that wasn't quite on. Let's keep an eye a bit further up. Jack looking like making a move on Sab, who's just been falling down the order tonight. Up the inside, this is not a good... Oh, contact that is... I'm sorry, Jack, but that is your fault, that spin, I think. Sab, he's going to be gutted there. That is... Jack, yeah, he had plenty of time to back out. I don't know if you saw that one. And he had so much time to back out of that move, but he did spin the Williams of Sab, and he's going to be gutted down in the back of the field here.
JPH drops a position. LDR Gamer capitalising on I'm not sure what, because I wasn't looking. I'd gone back to the back of the grid to see what had happened, and LDR has taken a position off of JPH. And the Aston Martin is now in 3rd. Arguably, he should have been, from what I've seen, he should have been ahead of Atsu earlier on in this race. Some good defending from Atsu, and JPH is now in 3rd as LDR regains his 2nd place after his spin about 10 or so laps ago.
Yeah, just a bob with Tinnis here. Is he going to go up the inside of Mikey? He is, keeping it nice and tidy there. The other Red Bull running horribly wide. There's going to be 2 positions in 2 quarters. Oh, almost contact between the teammates. Oh, bloody Mikey, Jolly, sorry, coming right across his teammate, but he's kept it in one piece. 2 positions in 2 corners for Tinnis. He's not going to be complaining about that one. Up at P13 after all the spins he's had. It's been a drama field race for himself, but he's up into P13 and he could be looking at some points here. Well, that was close.
Oh boy.
So Darryl making a move on Mikey with those soft tyres. But he does have that penalty, so another penalty as I talk about it for Sab. He's miles behind now. I don't know what happened. Did he pit? It looks like he did. Oh, disaster for both Williams tonight. Darryl making another move on Jolly Jolly, up into P14. The race, still 9 laps left. Yep, still 9 laps left. Sorry, just double checking my workings out. There's still 9 laps left to go. It still could be points for the Williams driver. Oh God, as I say that, there's a spin. That is office red. There's an extra position for Darryl as we were talking about it. He's not in the wall. He's got his front wing intact, so that's good. Darryl then having a P13. He's almost in the DRS of Tinnis as it has been re-enabled now. Just keep an eye on the closest gap. That is JP in 9th. A few mistakes earlier on, but he's managed to climb his way back up the field. 6/10 is the gap between him and Nitro Gash. Him and Sanflan, sorry. Nitro Gash just ahead of the 2 seconds down the road. Jolly all over the back then of Mikey.
This is the thing with JPH is because of his rear wing around the S turns. He's gaining. You know, he had a 0.3 second deficit on LDR. Going through them, and now it's already at 0.5.
He's definitely struggling with straight line speed as you saw him down the back straight there. God, it's looking tight in the background though. Kurt and Jack. Jack, is he going to look for a move at the inside? No, he's not. Red Bull of Jolly sorry, getting my words mixed up there. Falling further behind, a little bit of a tongue twister there. Tinnis then 3 seconds. That is not good. A lot of penalties at the back there. Let's get another look at those. 3 seconds for Sanflan, 3 seconds for JP, 3 seconds for Kerr, 3 seconds for Jack, 3 seconds for Tinnis, 13 seconds for Darryl, and a spin in the background for Jolly. In the wall there, reversing right up onto the track. Careful. He's got no one around him, that's fine. 6 seconds for Mikey, 6 seconds for Office Red. So everyone back here who's so close together are fighting for position. Makes you wonder if Darryl could be the one to benefit the most with that possible 10 seconds removal, but a mistake there possibly from himself. Cut and Jack side by side through turn 1 into turn 2. Who's going to take the lead? Oh, that's tight. But Jack will keep that position fair and square. That P10 for Jack then ahead of Kerr. Kerr is looking like making a move. Sab then fastest lap, but he will get no points at the back. Darryl should have those 10 seconds removed. Yeah, you would like to think so. The only problem, well, yeah, you would like to assume you will get those 10 seconds removed. Indeed.
10 seconds can't be served in the pits.
No, that is what he was saying. Darryl really battling with the car tonight. I don't know what setup he's got on, but he's really struggling out there. So we've seen this before, and we will see this again. Astons and Ferraris battling on field, but maybe Nitro actually. Look at the speed he's got through the corners there, as you get a lovely bird's eye view of this battle. Nitro all over the back of the Aston Martin. And a lovely helicopter shot here for this battle. Look at the under braking. Nitro looks so confident. Oh, is he going to make a move into the last corner? He's going to keep it steady here. Has he got the straight line speed? It looks like he's got more speed under braking. The helicopter cam was being watched all the way down there. Nice view of the battle. But Bruce will hold on to that position for now. JPH 6/10 behind LDR Gamer. We've seen this time and time again, gaining through the S's. But when it gets onto the straight, the speed is nowhere to be seen. So then 4/10 is the gap between JPH and LDR Gamer, round in the corner onto the back straight, and look, you just see it. JPH keeps the gap as there's a spin in the background. Oh my god, there looks like contact there even for Mikey. A few positions lost. Daryl again involved in it. Oh, I wonder if it's contact between the two, but...
Daryl's been
oh
caught up in
dear.
everything today.
Daryl is having a torrid race out there, it must be said. He picked up points in the sprint, but that's about all there is to talk about. Oh, down the inside, JP. Jack made that move you saw.
Nitro, the other as you were talking about the McLaren, Nitro Gash, 0.2 seconds, or now 0.3, away from the Aston Martin of Bruce Lee. And the more positions they lose, the more points Ferrari gain on them in the constructor standings.
Yeah, you just see in the corners, in the slower speed corners and in the braking zones, Nitro looks so confident in that McLaren, but the straight line speed for Bruce Lee this week, look at that, closing their gap. Blimey. Almost contact with the driver ahead, as Daryl picks up 5 seconds for speed in the pit lane, and Daryl's going to retire, I think, here, yeah. Daryl, that 10 seconds is now irrelevant for everybody on the field. Terrible, terrible result for the Williams drivers, unfortunately, tonight. And Daryl will call it quits there.
Nitro Gash, right on the backside of Bruce Lee Harding in the Aston Martin as they go up the hill in the DRS. There are 2 yellow flags in Sector 1, Sector 2.
It's just for the retire
Not
come out
sure
the
where they're
pits.
from, as Nitro makes the move on Bruce. At the same time, Jack makes a move on Samflan. Bruce goes down to P7, Samflan down to P9, and Nitro looks like keeping this position.
Yeah, I was on board with
He
Jack.
is on the medium.
I was on board with Jack as that happened. And Jack sending up the inside of Samflan down at the end of the start finish. No, the back straight, sorry. And it looks like the tyre deficit for Bruce Lee is not working out in his favour here as Nitro sails past. That'll explain the time gained in the corners and under braking then for Nitro Gash. But a spin in the background for Officer Red, I think that is. It is again. He's gone round again. Some of the drivers really struggling out there tonight.
But that safety car earlier makes no sense really, because the amount of spins we've had that are similar to what could have caused that earlier safety car have not brought out the safety car.
No, Sab making a mistake.
Spins again.
Yeah, and that gives a position for Mikey. Oh my god. Careful, you two, into the pits. Blimey. Mikey's going to retire, I think. 5-second penalty in the pits. Could be wrong. Wonder if it was contact between the two then. And that's why they've both gone into the pits. Is it a wing change for Sab? No. Is it a wing change for Mikey? Yeah, it is a wing change for Mikey, and Sab comes out ahead of him. JPH then 5 tenths behind LDR Gamer, who's made a lovely recovery, but Nitro
makes it.
Sorry, yeah, we caught that one at the same time. Oh, this is some close battling.
Nitro look to make it down the outside again as he comes down the inside. Down the inside again, and he will take the position off of Joseph Gramer.
Some lovely battling going on between the McLaren and the Ferrari here. And that position will be made by Nitro. He's flying through the field here. Jack picks up another 2 seconds. The mediums indeed are looking. They're looking nice and tasty for him, aren't they? For sure. Obviously, those hard runners who pitted before the safety car.
Yeah. And Bruce. I was complimenting you earlier. And you're down in 8. I think I might just have to shut up at this point. Nah, but to be honest, you know, he's still having a great race so far. You know, it's defence got JPH where he is now.
Yeah, he is falling back through the
Too
field
far.
though, but you've got to think that the safety car timing, JP picking up another 3 seconds. The safety car timing has really cut a hole in Bruce Lee's heart, I think. Wonder if maybe it was best to
JPH,
pit when he when the safety
JPH
car
is
came out.
looking down the bum of LDR now. 3 and a bit laps to go.
Yeah, 3 and a bit laps to go. Joseph Greenmer looking for a move on Jack, and he's going to make that one. Jack is falling down the field here. A spin for Nitro. We were just saying he was doing well, and oh dear. Smoke, was that learnt from you, you said? Apparently, Nitro taking notes from Smoke. Oh, almost contact there between him and Kai. Goes horribly wide with those. Oh, he's going to have some toasty tyres now. 3 seconds for Sab at the back of the field. That one's not going to matter too much. Not the spin. Oh, Nitro, all that hard work, and he's now outside the points. Oh, it's not good for the McLaren driver.
I mean, he might be outside the points as it stands, but I think he'll go in the points with Cuz. Penalty is Joseph Green spun.
Yeah, side by side with Jack into turn 1, and he did spin. He lost it under his own power, so that was not a penalty. But 2 wide up ahead, and Kerr backed out of that one bravely. Yeah, it's Joseph Greenmer's span of his own accord there, unfortunately, trying to keep the power down into turn 1. He had the inside line, but obviously inside line less traction, more of a traction zone, and he just span the rears, unfortunately, and that sees him drop down to P12. Penalties all around then for the drivers. Let's get an update of those as Sab takes the fastest lap. So, Jack in P5, but he's carrying a 6-second penalty. That will see him fall quite far down the grid, but another spin then for Tinus Optionil, and Tinus, a night to forget for himself. Most certainly out of the points. So eyes back to the front then, Sam on the back of Bruce, but as I was trying to say, 6 seconds for Jack, sees him lose all the way, possibly down to P8. Nitro back in the points. 3 seconds for Samflan, 6 seconds for JP, which will see Nitro gain another position. 3 seconds for Kerr, 6 seconds for Tinus as we have another spin there for Mikey. 9 seconds for Officer Red, 3 seconds for Jolly, 6 seconds for Sab, and 14 seconds for Mikey. But those penalties at the back are not really going to matter all too much as Kerr picks up 3 seconds more. That will see him fall outside the points as it stands. Let's keep an eye on this battle then. Sorry, maybe a more important battle actually. For second place, 2 tenths, JPH and LDR. But we've seen this all race long. Tinus is probably going to retire here. Yeah.
The only issue with this battle is JPH. The battle is around these S turns. The battle spans nowhere else on its track because of the straight line speed, as we were talking about earlier.
Well, we're saying that, but
they do go up the hill.
If you look at that ERS of JPH, he's got 80% still. LDR does have some left. He's got 18. I wonder if he's going to go for a last lap move.
I can imagine so. He does have the DRS on LDR, but that, other than the DRS and turns, he's gaining no time. He must be looking to push on this last lap.
Yeah, I think he's lining up a last lap move for P2. LDR, after that spin, even if he does finish P3, he cannot complain too much, I don't think. No. But I think JPH just lining up a move for the final lap.
And he's gone. I thought he was about to go for it. He is on the DRS.
No,
the DRS isn't on at the moment.
No, he's going to stay behind.
Go down into his favourite S turns. These are the ones where he really gains the time.
You've got to assume he's going to be holding that battery for... Oh, getting out of shape there is that LDR. He's going to be holding that battery for the back straight, where he's going to have the advantage out the corner. He's going to have the DRS. Obviously, if he had made a move earlier, LDR would have had the DRS back on him, and with that quicker straight line speed. But I think we're going to see P2 change hands here down the back straight. Let's keep an eye on this battle then. JPH, he's gonna, let's have a look at the telemetry. He's gonna drain the RS all the way down the straight, you'd assume. DRS wide open then. LDR none to defend with. Oh, is he gonna get him? He's gonna go for a move up the inside. JPH, he's gonna get the position down into the corner. And P2 then for JPH. Doing exactly as he thought. LDR's not gonna give this one up just yet, but he's got no ERS to fight back with. And you'd assume bar some mistakes that JPH will keep P2.
Was that a visual glitch, or did LDR look to have just nearly lost the car there?
I don't know, I went off board looking elsewhere behind, but back to the leader then. Atsu round in the last corner, celebrating before he gets to the line, and that is a commanding win in the end after the safety car shenanigans. Atsu then taking P1, JPH a brilliant recovery into P2. LDR Gamer holding on to third place after a spin earlier. He will not be complaining too much about that one. Jack in P5 for now, but a 6-second penalty will see Bruce Lee jump him. Maybe even the car behind, but I think he was carrying a penalty himself. So Jack in P6 then. Nitro Gash up into P8. After penalties, Kerr falling out the points. Joseph Greenwood picking up the last points position. And all those penalties at the back as we wait for the last few drivers to round the corners. Spud just enjoying himself up there around the last corner, I think. Office Red then over the line, and we will watch we will watch Sab around the last few corners, and I really feel sorry for this man, Ewan. He looked like he was having a brilliant race, and he just got tagged from behind by Jack, so there could be further stewards inquiries. I think it was Jack anyway. There could be further stewards inquiries at near the front of the field there. So Nitro could look to make another position. Spud happy with that race. Spud, definitely a good race from yourself there. You got the car round. Didn't have too many issues. You've had a couple of issues in previous races, but you've kept on nice on the lead lap on the back of a few cars, and one to be proud of there, Spud. Well done.
That is it.
So driver of the day for Jack. One spin for Spud, but the safety car probably made amends to that one, thankfully. Plenty more spins for other drivers, Spud, so nothing to complain about. So here we have it then, the winner in the hang on, let's get the right view. The winner of the race, the Ferrari Atsu P1, a good race for himself. JPH, a lovely climb from 7th to 2nd. LDR Gamer then in 3rd place. He did obviously have that spin, so he can't complain too much, I don't think. Trem's down into P4. He said he's gutted about that race, but still a good load of points in P4. Bruce Lee then in P5. He looked like he was going to have a bit of a higher finish, but nevertheless a decent one for himself. Jack in P6 for now, pending stewards inquiries. Samflan in P7. Nitro Crash, the leader of the two McLarens, in P8 of his teammate JP in 9th. Joseph Greenwood then in the Ferrari in 10th place. Car just out the points after penalties were applied in P11. Sir Spud, who said he was happy with tonight's race, not a single penalty for Sir Spud, so a brilliant race for himself in that regards in P12. Officer Red in P13, Sab in P14 after the drama that unfolded in the night. Jolly Jolly then in P15, Mikey in P16, and these are the drivers who did retire. Tinner's 2 laps, plus 2 laps, but he did retire in the pits. And the rear being made by Daryl Whiffin, who had mistake after mistake, unfortunately, in feature racing. But that will be the end of the race for Tier 3, brought to you in partnership with Gridfinder. Hopefully we can get a couple of these drivers in for an interview. JPH and LDR Gamer, I think, are both on the PlayStation platform. So let's see if we can get those two in then.
What a race.
That was a brilliant race. Lots of drama on the field. Let's see if he's got a few words. Right, let's see if we can get the drivers then in here for an interview. LDR Gamer said he'll be here in just a moment. I don't doubt JPH will be joining as well. An action-packed race tonight. JP's just getting the results pictures, that's fine. And that is 4 DNFs in a row for Daryl Whiffen, Ewan.
It's
not ideal.
Not a good start.
No. Most retired car, I think, so far in Tier 3. That's not a award you want. Atsu said he had the setup all wrong, but got luckily with a nice gap after the safety car, and we did see that. He's saying he had the setup wrong. Maybe straight line speed is what he's talking about, but he had brilliant pace through the corners. Yeah, JPH commented on that one. His corner speed was terrific from Atsu, so possibly, maybe he fiddled with the wing for the wet race, and then I don't know, maybe he didn't change it properly or something like that. One of the drivers is in. We've got JPH here. We're just waiting for LDR Gamer then, and here he comes. So we will start then with LDR Gamer, who finished in 3rd place. After that spin, mate, how were you feeling?
Well, it was a good race, I think. I knew that spin would happen. I've been practicing this track loads of times, and it had its final good time last.
Fair enough. We saw you battling with Trems for... I lost track of the laps. So many laps, positions... Well, the lead being traded over and over and over again. I bet that was fun to race in. Sorry, I've just getting some words from the viewers here. Do you have your voice set to be shared in the party? They can't hear you. Yeah, no worries. We just gets that one sorted.
Wait, yeah, I've got it back on now.
There we go. So,
sorry.
No worries. If you just want to answer the first question again quickly, the spin that difficult double right-hander.
Yeah, I was just saying that I'd been practicing the track loads of times, and I just kept spinning there, so it was bound to happen.
It's a really difficult corner. It's sort of
Yeah, once you lose a bit of grip, it just goes.
Yeah, and an upshift, an early upshift, a short shift, sorry, it doesn't always resolve it, so it is a difficult corner, and sometimes you can get the under rotation then because of the short shift, and the car does just go round. And then the battle with Trems, just a quick comment on that one as well.
Yeah, it was a great battle. It was so much fun. It was just a bit sad that the safety car came out and messed his race up. He did probably deserve the win, but congrats to his race anyway.
Yeah, he did finish 4th in the end. He got the sprint win, so a good haul of points for himself. So I don't think he can't be too annoyed, but he will be a bit gutted on that safety car. How were you feeling when that safety car came out?
I was relieved. It came out exactly the lap I planned to pit, so it just made me really happy, to be honest. After the spin, I was really happy the safety car came out.
Yeah, literally 1 lap later then, and that would have been race over for you as well, possibly.
Yeah.
Any questions, Ewan?
No. I didn't know if you knew what happened with the safety car, but
No, there's no spins up front, so I guess something happened behind. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we did see Tinnis go around, but that's not usually enough to bring out the safety car, so it was a bit strange.
Yeah, there were loads of spins throughout the whole race, so I don't know how there weren't more.
Yeah, for some reason it only came out on that one, but never mind.
Yeah, I was
a
just
good
about to
race
say,
for you.
there were so many spins.
Yeah, exactly. It was all those spins. No worries, but a P2 for P3, sorry, for yourself. A good race.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
So then on to JPH, back on the podium once again. A brilliant race from yourself. It looked like it could all be falling away at one point, but a brilliant recovery.
Yeah, I mean, it all felt in control of the main race. The problem is, I knew the setup was going to be a struggle down the straight, but it was so quick down through the first and last sectors that I knew if I could just stay within touching distance, it would come good near the end, which thankfully it did.
Yeah, we sort of, with a few laps to go, we sussed out that you were going to be making a move on the final lap, and it was probably the smartest move because it didn't give LDR Gamer a pass, able to pass back through on that same straight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I knew if I got past her on an earlier lap, I'd have to make sure I had at least a second for that back straight, which was never going to happen. LDR's, well, it's been pretty much quick all night, but so I knew that was never going to happen. So it was always the plan just to sit in behind, save the ERS, and then just launch it down that back straight.
Yeah, and that obviously worked out perfectly. Your teammate Bruce, just a quick one about him. Losing out in that safety car.
Yeah, no, Bruce was very unlucky. Very unlucky. He was on for a really good result. I mean, position wise, we were both on to be potentially on the podium, or maybe like third, fourth sort of area before the pit stops, with all the tyre strategies being played out. But yeah, it's unfortunate second week in a row he's been caught up with the safety car coming out at the wrong time.
I know, we do feel for him, but still some decent points for both Aston Martins tonight.
Yeah, and to be honest, for us, both me and Bruce, this is a weak track for us. Neither of us really like it. Neither of us are particularly quick on it. We just came in with the thought process of come in, get some points, and then we've got the second half of the season then to try and finish off what we started.
Fair enough. Obviously, you got that title to retain this season, as you did win season 15 of Tier 3, so I'm sure you'll be battling right until the end.
Yeah, I mean, hope we got a nice buffer at the moment. I think we might have increased that tonight, which is a good feeling. Just got to try and keep that buffer now, because obviously we've still got one more sprint weekend to go later on in the season. So obviously once that's passed, you can kind of work everything out a bit easier.
Yeah, definitely that's the case. Any questions, Ewan?
Just one with the last lap there. What was going through your mind going through the last couple of laps? We noticed on the stream that you were saving your ERS. Was it a plan for a little last lap dash, or what was the idea there?
Yeah, it was completely planned. Joe, it was one of those things. If I got past any earlier, LDR would have just blasted back past me, and I could see he was struggling. So I knew that if I'd done it on the last lap, I knew the car was quick enough. I still had good grip, so it meant LDR was very unlikely to get me back through that last sector. I could just kind of go to my pace through those last couple of corners to keep it nice and stable. But yeah, absolutely planned to save the ERS. It was basically use a bit of ERS to keep within that 1 second, and then when I was on his bumper, just use the DRS to stay with him until that last lap when I could dump the battery and use it all.
Nice. Well raced, mate.
Thank you.
Good recovery.
So that will see the week drawn to an end for Tier 3 then. Some brilliant drives from the drivers all around and some heartbreaks for others. But that will be the end of the night. Obviously Tier 3 brought to you in partnership with Gridfinder. I have been Joe, and alongside me Ewan is a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me. Have a good night, everyone.